Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Voice of Guo on July the 20th, 2020. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell button, so you know the next time we upload a video. And also don't forget to leave a comment down below and let us know what you think what is currently happening in China. Now, let's bring our attention to Hong Kong and look at what is currently happening with the Legislative Council election that is taking place right now.
The Hong Kong Legislative Council election has entered a critical stage as Huang Zhifeng, who won the highest vote in the Democratic Kowloon East primary election, signed up for the Legislative Council election this afternoon. According to the report, he said he will continue to fight against the national security law, even if the chance of his name appearing on the ballot during formal election is slim. Huang Zhifeng thanked the participation of more than 610,000 citizens in the primary election voting process, in which he received more than 31,000 Kowloon East citizens' votes. He emphasized that the Democrats must seize 3 seats in the Kowloon East and win against any pro-Beijing camp member. Wong reiterated his refusal to sign the confirmation form which was required by the Electoral Affairs Commission to declare the candidate's understanding of Hong Kong being an inalienable part of China in 2016. He said the confirmation form shouldn't become a factor for the Democrats to coax. It does not mean we are abandoning our voters and the rule of law of Hong Kong. It is just a tool for the CCP to divide the Democrats. When it comes to the effect of the pandemic on the election, Huang questioned the Hong Kong government's ability to take preventative measures after the Hong Kong government told the public to help themselves. In the end, Huang hopes this election will raise awareness to an international level and encourage the world to stand with Hong Kong.
Okay, great reporting. As long as most of the Hong Kongers are participating in voting and voicing their opinions, there's no chance that the CCP can win. Now, next news. We want to give you some details regarding how the CCP virus has been affecting the civil servants in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong civil servants to resume work from home arrangement as CCP virus returns. Hong Kong is to enact its straightest measure yet to fight the CCP virus outbreak, with most government workers set to work from home on Monday for 1 week. Only emergency and essential services will be provided by the government. Caroline confirmed the health authority would announce 100 new CCP virus cases on Sunday, the highest daily total yet. According to the authority, there were 1,207 isolation beds and 650 wards citywide, with an occupation rate of 68% and 74%. At a Sunday press briefing, Chief Executive Caroline said her cabinet will seek to extend the existing compulsory mask rules to include all the public indoor venues. Currently, masks must be worn on public transport. Civil servants to work from home for a week from Monday. Only emergency and essential public services will be provided. Restrictions on eatery will be extended. From 6 p.m. to 5 a.m., dining in will not be allowed. Only takeout will be available for another 7 days from Tuesday. The situation is really critical and there is no sign the situation is coming under control, she said. We have a new wave of transmission, and this one is far more critical. From next Saturday, people entering Hong Kong from 7 high-risk countries, including India and Pakistan, will be required to spend their 14-day quarantine at government-approved hotels before going to their own homes.
All right, thank you very much. Now, let's look at the next news, how the CCP virus is disrupting the Hong Kong entertainment industry.
The third wave of the CCP virus broke out in Hong Kong recently. The number of local infections has increased sharply, and now it has directly entered the entertainment industry. The 24-year-old singer Shi Kuangqiao, who was diagnosed on the 18th, participated in the recording of a television show named Jade Solid Gold during her incubation period. which infected 3 people and forced more than 100 people to be tested. According to the Hong Kong media, female singer Shi Kuanqiao was diagnosed on the afternoon of the 18th, becoming the first person to contract the CCP virus in Hong Kong's entertainment industry. The entire production teams must undergo antibody testing. Shi Kuanqiao's agent Liu Lipeng, boyfriend Metro, and staff member were all infected, and the 4 have been isolated for treatment. In an interview with Hong Kong's Apple Daily, Shi Kuanqiao's 61-year-old boyfriend Metro revealed that he began to develop symptoms 2 days ago. At first, it was dizziness, sore throat, and diarrhea, and finally turned into a fever before going to the doctor. According to an insider, Shi Kuanqiao had been working before the diagnosis, and her agent, Liu Lipeng and Jia, had to constantly interact with artists for rehearsal. Furthermore, Metro held a private singing party on the 18th. About 40 people attended that night. They all felt unwell the next day and were diagnosed after examination. The news caused panic in Hong Kong entertainment industry. On the evening of July 18th, the broadcasting company TVB responded, "We're now investigating this matter." Subsequently, the Corporate Communications Department of TVB announced that the closure of the TV broadcasting city and canceled the following activities on the 19th and 20th.
Thank you very much for the reporting. It shows that no matter, even though you bow down to the CCP, the virus still comes for you and you still get yourself infected. Why not just stand up and fight for Hong Kong instead of bowing down to the CCP for blood money? Now, next news, let's bring our attention back to China mainland and take a look at the flooding situation in the province of Anhui.
The Anhui authorities blasted 2 gaps in the embankment of the Chu River, a tributary of the Yangtze River, at 3 o'clock in the morning today. The river flooded into the flood storage area, quickly turning the original fields into vast oceans. The water level of the Yangtze River has soared, and the flood control situation has taken a turn for the worse. The local estuary has exceeded the guaranteed water level. The authorities called for safety of the city and decided to explode the embankment. Some of hydrological stations and several tributaries of the Chaohu Lake in Anhui exceeded the highest water level in history this morning, and the guaranteed water level was exceeded across the lake. The continuous rise of river water also affected the safety of the piers of Changjiang Road Bridge in downtown Hefei. As a result, the authorities dispatched more than 20 heavy vehicles to press the bridge to ensure safety of the bridge. Thousands of people were evacuated in Sanhe Town, Feixi County, Hefei City, and the ancient town scenic spot was closed. More than 500 cultural relics were damaged. Old bridges and ancient city walls were most damaged. According to news from State Administration of Cultural Heritage of China yesterday, as of the 16th, more than 500 immovable cultural relics in Jiangxi, Anhui, Hunan, Sichuan, Guangxi, Hubei, Chongqing, Guangdong, Fujian, Guizhou, and Zhejiang have suffered varying degrees of damage due to floods. 76 national cultural key relics protection units and 187 provincial-level cultural relic protection units are involved. Song Xingchao, Deputy Director of the State Administration of Cultural Heritage of China, said that the provinces in the Yangtze River Basin were suffering serious damage to cultural relics, including 160 in Jiangxi, 144 in Anhui, 62 in Hunan, 41 in Sichuan, 35 in Guangxi, and 31 in Hubei. Among the damaged cultural relics, the destruction of ancient bridges, the collapse of ancient city walls, and the collapse of cultural relic buildings are more seriously.
Okay, next news. Let's look at how the flooding is affecting Three Gorges Dam and how the flooding has created a critical water level at Dongting Lake.
China's National Meteorological Center continues a blue signal as rainstorm rages. Heavy rainfalls and rainstorms will appear in Heilongjiang, Jilin, Liaoning, Guizhou, Guangxi, Yunnan, and Tibet. It warned that Jilin, Liaoning, and Guangxi would experience up to 140 millimeters of precipitation, and some areas would have convective weather such as thunderstorms and strong winds. As Yangtze River's number 2 flood passes the Three Gorges Dam, the flood has receded after reaching its peak. However, the National Meteorological Center said that the Three Gorges Dam would endure a new round of flood on July 21st. The Hydrological Bureau in Hunan Province announced that the Dongting Lake has 23 hydrological stations exceeded the water level as of 8 a.m. today, with 7 additional stations compared with July 18th. This means that Dongting has entered a fully alerted state of water level. Currently, the water level of each station around Dongting is rising. According to the National Meteorological Center's analysis, the reason for the Dongting's gradual rise in water level is due to the continuous increase in the incoming water from the Yangtze River. The Chenliangji station will appear at water levels over the guaranteed line on the 21st or the 22nd of July. Furthermore, based on the previous reservoir scheduling, rainfall, and water conditions, it was forecasted that the water level of some control stations in western and southern of Dongting would remain the state of alarm as it will rise on rest. The relevant respondent of Yangtze River Conservancy Commission said this morning that the downstream and midstream of the Yangtze River all remain with the state of alarm presently. Affected by the continuous heavy precipitation, the water level of the control station in the midstream will rise, resulted in a severe flood control situation in Yangtze River. Additionally, the dikes of the lower and middle reaches of the Yangtze River, the Dongting Lake, and the Poyang will experience a large over-alarm range with longer duration and might prone to danger. Reinforcing, inspecting, and protect the embankment of the Yangtze River and the two lakes should now be the essential task for Yangtze's floodwater control.
Okay, thank you for the reporting. Now let's look at how the continuing of flooding and increasing in water level and rainfall is causing damages to the Three Gorges Dam.
The overflow of Yangtze River this year has been devastating. Many southern cities are affected by disastrous rainfall and flooding. Even the self-claimed the strongest dam to have ever existed has immediately shifted, ruptured, and experienced leakage. The question of whether the dam has worsened the situation was raised as well. The Three Gorges Dam is the biggest hydroelectricity plant of the world. However, at the cost of burying countless heritages and migrating millions of people, not to mention the astronomical figure to build it, the idea, and especially the poor construction quality, was much debated at the time. The people have been suspicious about the reliability ever since the project was finished. Particularly this year, it has become a common belief that the water discharged from the dam flooded cities downstream. Xinhua News agent reported on Saturday that the Three Gorges Dam increased their water output, resulting in raising of water level at Dongting Hu Control Station, with 16 hydrological stations at emergency level, 1,771 kilometers of distance water above warning level, the pressure exceeding to Jiangxi and Anhui. This report makes people wondering if the dam is responsible for the disaster happening to Chongqing and Wuhan amongst many other cities.
Alright, thank you very much for tuning in today, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.